Hello everyone, I'm FMZ and this is Reviving Bolton Wanderers, my brand new series for Football Manager 2020. Look, it's all shiny and new. So this is the opening screen that you see when you've loaded the game up, and they have hired me as their new manager. I must say, the avatar, brilliant. Looks a bit youngish, but hey, I look youthful, don't I? So it only makes me 34 in the game because we are back in the 24th of June. I'm still 34 at that point. And I've penned a 1-year deal worth £5,500. But as you're all aware, Bolton start the season on minus 12 points. We've also disabled the ability to buy players in the first transfer window. I thought we'll deal with what Bolton have as a squad, and we will take a look at that squad shortly. So this is nice. Sharon Britton, the new chairman of Football Ventures, has invited me to have a look at the club. So, last season we finished 23rd in the Championship and were relegated out of the Championship, of course. So we start the season on the minus 12. The media prediction is 23rd. That's last, because there are only 23 teams in League One this year, thanks to Bury's expulsion. Currently playing their football at the University of Bolton Stadium, formerly the Reebok. It's worth noting that obviously Bolton did have a fairly good history up until recent. Premier League club for 10 years plus. Have won the FA Cup on 4 occasions and runner-up in the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup as we call it now, in 2004 when they lost to Middlesbrough in the final. So yeah, there's history here, and I'm hoping that we can save them from relegation. It's going to be a big ask. So we're now moving on to the club vision. So they need us to work within our wage budget. That is a required element. Avoid relegation at the end of the current season. Continue being an established League One club that is ongoing. Reach the FA Cup third round is a minimum. Obviously, we enter it in round 1. And the second round of the EFL Cup is a minimum, or that's only a preferred importance. My contract then expires. At the end of 2021, they want us to record a top half finish. So they want us to avoid relegation and then make a top half finish next season, which, to be fair, with us back on even keel, we should be able to do, and then win promotion to the Championship at the end of 21-22, and then work our way back to being an established club. So it's not out of reach objectives. Avoiding relegation is going to be first and foremost, obviously. Being back in the Championship by the end of 21-22 is not a bad aim at all. So it's a good thing I took off the ability to buy players. We don't have any money anyway. No transfer budget whatsoever. We do have a little bit in the wages, but that won't be available until January. We will be scouting players because we do need some. We'll have a look at the squad in a minute. But yeah, that's the financial situation. Obviously, Bolton just back on their feet after being taken over, so it will take a little bit of time to generate cash. Now, as you know, Bolton started the season with not many professionals. They did manage to get a few in before the real-life transfer window closed. So this is the squad we have going forward. It is a mixture of youth and experience. We'll take a look at some of the key players that are going to be important to us. It's worth noting it's quite a widespread squad. Looking at it straight initially, I've done a little bit of research on each individual player. I have done some research. I know, hallelujah. Don't normally, but I thought I needed to for this one. Obviously, you've got the playing time, happiness. We'll look at that pathway as we go along, but that's good to see that on the selection information, so you know whether your players are happy or not with the amount of time they're playing. So yeah, let's dive in. We'll start with the goalies. So we do have 2 good goalkeepers. We start with Ben Anick. He is 32 years of age, formerly of Tottenham Hotspur, so I do know of him. Good kicking, first thing that stands out. Good reflexes as well. Composure of 13. Obviously that's good for a goalkeeper. Physical attributes are starting to decline. Obviously he is 32 years of age. He's starting to come to the end of his football career, but a good starting place for the goalkeepers indeed. Moving on to a player who was already with Bolton when it all went belly up, and that is Jack Hobbs, formerly of Liverpool and Nottingham Forest, to name a few. Good central defender. Not a lot of pace about him. There is not a lot of pace about the side. That is one thing that did worry me slightly, but we'll adapt our playing style to affect that. Good mental attributes, definitely determination being the highest rating that he has, and he will certainly be a leader on and off the field as we fight relegation. Now we're going to look at a lone player. Liam Bridcup joined from Nottingham Forest during the summer. A great player. Will lead this team. He will be the captain. I have made my mind up about that. I think he's already the captain of the real-life Bolton Wanderers. But his mental attributes are quite good. Physical ones are pretty good as well. He's a ball-winning midfield player. He likes to play at the base of that. So, we're probably going to have to adapt the formation to fit him in quite snugly. And at 30, he is one of the older players within the current squad. Another one of the known players to look at is Theoban Verlinden. Now, he is on loan from Stoke City and could be the ace in the hole. Frankly, he could be the difference between us staying up and the difference between us going down. He's only on loan until the start of January, so we're going to have to try and deal with that and get him here for the entire season should he work out. Pace of 14, crossing of 13, obviously with the two strikers that we have, and we'll have a look at those in a second. He is going to be vital. Flair of 15, he can play wide on the right. Can play as a wide midfield player. Haven't decided whether we're going to go 4-4-2 or whether we're going to go 4-3-2-1 yet. But he, as I say, he could be the ace in the hole. He could be the difference. He really could. Speaking of the forwards, we go to our oldest outfield player, and that is Daryl Murphy. Now, Daryl Murphy has been round the block. 455 appearances for 10 clubs. 116 goals, so that's an average of about 1 in 4. Finishing of 14, heading of 16, pace of 9. That is the only thing that worries me. He hasn't got a lot of pace. He is a target man. Strength of 16, though, is another good attribute. He is going to be the man we're going to need to rely on to get the ball in the back of the net. There are a couple of other strikers, but he is the best that we have. So taking a look at the tactics, we've done a bit of wing play. David Flitcroft, the assistant manager, has said this will suit us. So it looks like we're going with 4-4-2. We're going with old-fashioned 4-4-2. Yes. We might try 4-1-4-1. Well, it doesn't look too bad, actually, does it? Doesn't look too bad at all. So that allows for Liam Bridcup to play in behind two centre midfield players. I'm not dissatisfied with that. I just think we need to try and fit the players that we have currently with us, and yeah, that's where that's where we're heading. Another thing new to have a look at is the development centre, which is going to be a key place for us this year, because obviously of all of our younger players, they may have to play. It's sad to see that Connor Hall is injured, because he was one that was probably going to move up into the first team picture. But there are a couple there. Eddie Brown. Let's take a look at Eddie Brown, because he may well have to come into the first team picture if things are not working out quite as well. He isn't far away from the first team by the looks of it. Finishing at 12. Determination of 17. But pressing forward, he can play as an advanced forward. I like those. So, yeah. Okay, we'll watch him in the under-23 match, and then we'll think about moving him up, definitely. As for the rest, there are a few there that might do up. Callum Kings-Harms is one that stood out when I've done a bit of research. Adam Senior is another one that has played a few games for them at the start of this season. Sonny Graham is another one. So yeah, so we can have a look at those players in the under-23. I think that's going to be a big match for me to have a look at, to be perfectly honest. And this is why. As I've mentioned already, the minus 12 points. So we start the season 4 wins essentially behind the rest of the league. Now I've done my maths. I've done my Rachel Riley impression. Don't picture it, I wouldn't. 62 points is what we need. 50 is about the average that the team in 20th has got to survive. If you take into account we're playing 2 less games than what we would do normally, that brings it down to about 48. So I've set my target, my personal target, at 62 points. Because obviously we have to get 12 back before we even start. So it is a challenge. It is the ultimate challenge, as I mentioned in my preview video, and I'm up for it. I really am. So the schedule is alright. So we're playing 6 3 pre-season games. We will not see any of those. We will probably jump back in for the trip to Wickham. Now, Wickham have done pretty well so far in League One. Let's hope they have an off day on the opening day. So Macclesfield is our opponent in the Cup first round. We didn't know that. We do know that now. Where do we finish the season? That's what I want to know. Are we at home on the last day? No, we're away at Oxford. We've got 2 home games before that. I'm happy with that. Yeah, not daunted by that at all. So it's the key moment, introducing myself to the players first time around. So I'd like to introduce myself as the manager of Bolton. Welcome. Thank you, Jason. I'm very positive about our chances, and I think we can beat the drop. What do I do? We know we're expecting a tough season, or we can ask. Yes, we'll do that one. Is that all we're targeting? Okay, so 16 are happy, 8 are not. I don't think I'm being unambitious. I don't want to... Oh my god. Yep, I respect everybody's viewpoint. So I want to finalise code of conduct. Oh, good lord. They're happy with the code of conduct. That's fine. We can finish on a happy note. That's a great response. Let's get through the season. That's gone better than I was expecting it to. Yeah, that could have ended quite nastily there. So, there you go. There is Bolton Wanderers FC. The fight to survive starts now. We do pre-season. We will come back for the first game of the season against Wycombe Wanderers. Don't forget, if you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and would like to do so, please hit the subscribe button down in the corner. Don't forget to share this content so we can get as many eyes on it as possible. I am also now a member of the FM creator community. The link to our Discord server is in the description below if you want to jump in. We chat Football Manager, we chat real life, we chat games, all sorts of stuff goes on in there, and I'd love to have a chat with you in there if you want to join us. So that is Reviving Bolton Wanderers. It's going to be a challenge. It is, as I mentioned, the ultimate challenge, but I'm up for the fight. Hopefully you'll join me along the journey, and I'll see you next time. Cheerio.